Hello everybody, very good evening. And today we'll be doing the second part of nmat series. So we'll start with an RC question, and then uh, there is only one RC, but it's a pretty long RC. So it will have 10 questions, and then we'll move to further objective questions. The RC might seem very long and very tedious, but it's a very simple RC. The questions are very direct, so don't take tension. Just try to finish it as fast as possible. So here is the RC. This is the first page of it. There is also a second page. So just read through it, and if you when you are done with the first page, tell me. I'll move to second page, and do take a screenshot of it. Okay, so when we'll be doing the questions later on, you can refer to your screenshots while answering the questions. Okay, so I hope everyone is done through first page. So those of you who are still reading, just take a snapshot quickly. We'll move to the second page. Okay, so we are moving to the next page. Is everyone done with the reading part of it? Okay, so we are moving to the questions now. Uh, there would be 10 questions based on this RC, and you'll find them pretty easy. You'll see for yourself. So here's the first question. Here is the first question. You can attempt it and send me what you think is the correct answer. Okay, the question says, the article explains that some of the discrepancy between Soviet claims of economic growth and available data might be attributable to A. Soviet concern about disclosure of trade secrets, B. Undisclosed military production, C. Soviet failure to achieve desired goals, and D. Unwillingness of Russia to disclose all the facts. So now if you look at the article, look at the RC. So if you see the second paragraph first line, the suspicion is strong among many analysts that a large part of answer to the puzzle may be hidden, maybe the hidden performance of Soviet military industry. Okay, so this very strongly suggests that uh, the lower the discrepancy in data is not because actual downfall in production, but it may be because the allocation of production has shifted from civil to military side, and since the military side is undisclosed, uh, the disclosed figures appear far lower than claimed. So if you look at the answer here, the B part, undisclosed military production, is the one that supports the first line of second paragraph. So first B would be the answer. Now a very direct question. How many 5-year plans has the Soviet Union had? A2, B4, C6 or D8? Take note, this is the article about 1970. So if the question asks how many 5-year plans Soviet Union had, it is in accordance with article. So that means by 1970, how many 5 years plans Soviet Union had. So if you look at the RC, in the third paragraph, the second line, it says by publication of the detailed Soviet economic report for 1970, the last year of 8th 5-year plan. So The 8 5-year plan suggested by 1970s, there had been 8 5-year plans. So the answer for the question will be D part, that is 8. Third question, in how many commodity groupings was the 1970 production goal achieved? A 3, B 6, C 12, or D 15? So yes, basically most of you have got the correct answer here. It is B 6. So if you look at here, uh, the last the last line of the fourth paragraph, it says data for only about half a dozen or so commodities or commodity groupings show that they, in their cases, 90 and 20 plan was reached. So that means in 6 commodity or commodity groupings, the 1970 goal was reached. So the answer for our third question would be, sorry, answer for the third question would be 6. So fourth question, Okay, I'm sorry. So if you look at fourth paragraph, first line, the comparison shows that for 30 major commodities or commodity groupings ranging from steel and electric power to paper, automobiles, and television sets in 1970, output was below the planned target. So all these things, steel, electric power, paper, automobiles, television sets, are a part of 30 major commodity or commodity groupings. So in our question, we have to say which of the following mentioned by the author as being a major commodity group. So we have seen that in our major commodity groups, television sets were there, electric power was there, steel was also there. So all 1, 2, 3 are the part of major commodity groups. So C is the answer. Moving to the next question. So this question is slightly confusing. The question says, according to Soviet claims, industrial output A exactly equal coal set in 1966. Uh, B exceeded expectations by as much as 50%. C was overestimated by the 23rd Congress. D failed to measure up to Red China's output. So out of the given options, clearly D is not an option. So China is never mentioned in our article. So D is not the answer. C was overestimated by the 23rd Congress. If you look at the passage, this part is also, you will find that this part is also not there. So what is said here in the passage? The passage says in the fifth paragraph, yet overall, Soviet industrial production statistics claim that industry's output grew by 50% from 1966, um, reaching precisely the overall target set by the 23rd Congress back in 1966. So if you pay attention to the last part of the sentence, it says that the statistics in 1970 indicated that uh, the production reached precisely, that means exactly the overall target, the target set by the Congress in 1966. So C part is not true, that it did not exceed expectations. So here, uh, so it was not overestimated by 23rd Congress, nor the expectations were exceed. The production was exactly as it was expected in 1966 to be in 1970. So the answer would be A for this question. So next question. So in the RC, if you look at this part, the highlighted part here, so it says perhaps the brighter areas where goals were fulfilled were few. And then perhaps the most important was oil, whose 1970 output was output of 353 million metric tons compared with the goal of 345 million to 355 million tons. So it clearly says that out of the commodities in which goals were fulfilled, oil was the most important one. So in our question, uh, option C, oil would be the answer. So moving to the second question. Okay, the question here says that those who adopt the inflation theory to explain Soviet economy mystery feel that A. Russians normally inflate their claims. B. Global inflation has finally penetrated the Iron Curtain. C. Deflation has offset the recent inflation in Soviet Union. And D. New products are now being produced in Soviet Union have relatively high prices. So let's go to the passage. So look at the highlighted paragraph. So it says that during the last 5 years, many new items have been introduced into the production and the prices may have been relatively high, thus giving large volume of new production a disproportionately large and inflationary weight in overall output index. So there is a second group of analysts who feel that the higher production that is shown by Soviets is not because of the military production, higher military production, but it is because of the things produced at a higher price. So, if you see among the four options, option D, that the new products now being produced in the Soviet Union have relatively high prices, that is the closest to what the second group of analysts feel. So, answer to seventh question would be D part. So, moving to the eighth question. So the question 8 basically says, what have the Soviets done to explain the discrepancy? A. They blame the capitalist influence of the West. B. They refer to articles written by Soviet economists. C. Russians contend that much progress has taken in form of improved technology. Or D. The Russians have given no explanation. Now, if you have gone through the article, you would have realized that the whole article is about what the analyst feels and why the analyst feels there is a discrepancy. What are their possible explanations for it? So there is nowhere given what the Soviets think of the discrepancy or what they give excuse for the discrepancy. So option D, the Russians have given no explanation, would be the answer for this question. So ninth question, what could be the possible consequence of Soviet failure to attain output goals? A. A cultural revolution. B. An economic recession. C. A political power struggle. Or D. A re-evaluation of reporting techniques. So yes, basically everybody has got this answer correct. So if you look at the passage and look for the last paragraph, the last paragraph says, but the failure to reach so many output goals could become a major issue if there is a power struggle among those competing for the highest positions in Soviet Communist Party. So option C, a power struggle, is the correct answer for this question. So a political power struggle is the correct answer. So last question for this RC. So the question says, what led the author to believe that Russians had not achieved their production goals? A. The reports for specific commodities differed from overall Soviet claims. B. Soviet economists admitted their over-optimism. C. World trade statistics conflicted with Russian reports. Or D. Inconsistencies in Soviet newspapers aroused authors' suspicion. So, if you go through the RC, you see that the all the evidence that author gives It's there because what the Soviet claimed in 1966, what their production would be, and what the production the author has found out from the reports, they are different. They are very different. So option A, the reports of specific commodities differ from overall Soviet claims, is the answer to this question. So now let's move to the other objective questions uh, from nmat. So here is the first question. This is similar to the questions that we had been doing in the last class. So we have basically three sentences here. The sentence in the middle is missing, and it is one of the options that has been given. So you have to tell me which among the four options that we have will give us the sentence that fits in the middle. So the question says, we agree that our articles pointed out the level of local support for and law and order forces trying to capture Virappan. Dash. There is no doubt that the man is a criminal and should be treated as one. Option A is, however, we did not blame the two state governments for this. B, but nowhere did we condone the man's action. And C, the real issue is the need to revamp the entire policy regarding sandalwood. Now, if you look at the first sentence that says we agree that our articles pointed out, so we can guess from this that the place where this paragraph would be some kind of newspaper or magazine or a journal which comes up with articles. So it came up with an article regarding Virappan, and if you look at the last line, there is no doubt that the man is a criminal and should be treated as one. This after the first line, this sounds as a bit defensive. So you can be quite sure that the second sentence that should have been there should evoke some kind of defensive action from the newspaper or the magazine. So, we can rule out sentence C because it does not it does not elicit any defensive action. Options A and B. However, we did not blame the two state governments for this, but nowhere did we condone the man's action. They could elicit defensive response from newspaper. If you look at it in a more contextual manner, so you'll see that again, if the last sentence is regarding Virappan and not the two state governments, so we'll rather go with option B. But nowhere did we condone the man's action because it would be in continuity. From there, then again it goes to from Virappan, it goes in the last sentence again to further explain Veerappan, saying that the man is a criminal and should be treated as one. So this is the next question. Okay, so let's discuss the second question. The second question is a bill now before US Congress poses a threat to Indian software specialists. Dash these fees from employers are to be used for training programs for US nationals in key areas. So the sentence A, any agency hiring foreign workers will have to pay special fee. B, workers with special skills will be charged an employment permit fee. C, the licensing fees payable to software subcontractors will be raised. So uh, now focus on the third sentence here. It says that the fees from employers. So the fees is not coming from the workers. It is not coming even from the subcontractors. It is coming from employers. So in option A, any agency hiring foreign workers. So any agency that hires foreign workers will be the employer. So the fee that US government is getting is from the employer. So option A, any agency hiring foreign workers will have to pay a special fee, should be the answer to this question. So here is the third question. So the next question is, the fight to preserve environment calls for good science. There is no point at dash. There is no point in environmental science reports that get locked away in secret governments. So sentence A, strong financial support from the government is essential. B, the voluntary sector too should take bold initiatives. C, this implies a culture of openness and transparency, not just funding. So, uh, if you look at it, the last sentence, there is no point in environmental science reports that get locked away. So, it means that let's say a lot of agencies are doing their research, they're coming up with reports, but they are not sharing it. They are not being very transparent to other agency. Each is uh, being each is being contained within itself and not interacting with others. So what happens that many of the good science reports, environmental science reports, that could have been useful to others as well, it gets locked away. For example, in secret government files. So option C, which implies a culture of openness and transparency, should be a move towards the area uh, where the uh, where the reports are not locked away somewhere, but are shared between the agencies. Strong financial report support will not be the answer, because even if there is strong financial support, there is still a chance that uh, the the science reports may get locked away eventually. B, the voluntary sector too should take bold initiatives also cannot be, because uh, the first line says that it calls for good science. It does not call for bold initiatives, but small things like transparency and openness, which constitute good science. So C should be the answer for this question. So for next few questions, you will have a phrase given and you have to tell the meaning from the given options. So the question 4 asks, of the first water, the options are A triple, B genuine, C of the highest quality, D shoddy. So the meaning of this phrase is not, it is clearly not shoddy or triple. There could be confusion between genuine and of the highest quality. Well, the correct answer for this question is option C. Option C of the highest quality. Why it would not be genuine? Genuine means something original, something that is not fake. So maybe you could have two products. Let's say uh, you go to jeweler 1 and jeweler 2. They will have genuine products of their own. But jeweler 1 gives you 100% pure gold, that is of the highest quality, whereas uh, uh, jeweler 2 has some alloys mixed in it. So you will not say that jeweler 2 has products or jewelry of the first water, whereas jeweler 1, which gives you 100% gold, would be of first order. Okay, so it may happen that something that is genuine may not be of the highest quality. So option C will be answer for this of this paragraph. Sorry, of this phrase. So the next is to fit the bill. So the options for this question are to misappropriate, to bribe, to be suitable, or to kill. The answer for this question is option C, to be suitable. You can say that the new governor fits the bill. That means he is suitable. He has all the qualities that a governor should have. So moving to the next question, a wild goose chase. Option A, a victorious attempt. Option B, a sly attack. Option C, an effort in vain. Or option D, an odyssey. By the way, odyssey means a very uh, long and eventful journey. So basically, Odyssey is a Greek poem which tells a very obviously tells a tale about the journey of Odysseus. So Odyssey means a very long and eventful journey. So the answer for this question is option C, an effort in vain. So if you say that uh, he sent me on a wild goose chase, that means somebody told you to do something that you could never have accomplished, and he told you to do that knowing this. So he sent you on a wild goose chase. So you have put all your efforts in something, but it was all in vain. Oh, I'm sorry, it should be option C, is not D. Question 7, to kick the bucket. So basically, the question is to kick the bucket. A, to enjoy oneself. B, to eat greedily. C, to die. Or D, to monopolize. So generally, when we say he kicked the bucket, that means he is dead. He has died. So uh, the meaning of to kick the bucket is option C, to die. Moving to the eighth question. At sixes and sevens. So at sixes and seven, the options are A in apple pie order, B in this array, C at gunpoint, or D in an order. So the sixes and seven, so at sixes and sevens is a idiom that is used to describe a state of confusion or disarray. So option B in this array will be the answer for this question. So moving to the next question. Here we don't have a phrase, we have a word here, and you have to tell me what this word means. So the word peradventure basically means something, basically means by chance, but the exact word uh, that should be the closest to this word would be perhaps. So since if you say perhaps with anything, it casts a doubt about it. So if you say perhaps it will rain tomorrow, that means it may rain tomorrow, but uh, there is a lot of doubt that it might not rain. So an example of usage of this word would be that it may be peradventure we thought that there never was such a time. So it is basically an old English word and rarely used nowadays, but still uh, it's an exam question. So the answer for this question will be option A, doubt. So here is the filling the blanks question. So it is a very straightforward question. Traffic signals in country X operate in reverse fashion. People move when it is dash and have to stop when it is dash. So normally in most of the places people move when it is green and have to stop when it is red. And since country X operates in a reverse fashion, it would be people move when it is red and have to stop when it is green. So option C would be the answer. So the question here is, can you call a dash seeker of personal goals and dash? I doubt whether you can. So we can see from the structure of the sentence that the first dash and the second dash are, are something that are not compatible with each other, something that are direct opposite to this. So a dash seeker would be a something that the final dash would not be. So if we say, can you call a relentless seeker of personal goals an atheist? So an atheist, a person who does not believe in God, and relentless means untiring. So a relentless seeker means an untiring seeker of personal goals. So someone who is continuously working towards personal goal. There, the sentence that we have means to say that the person who is continuously moving towards working towards personal goals cannot be an atheist. So this does not make sense because someone moving towards personal goal has nothing to do with his religious beliefs. And same with the option D, an agnostic is a person does who does who neither does accept the existence of God and also does not reject the acceptance of reject the presence of God. So again, it is a religious belief, and being a relentless seeker of personal goal has nothing to do with it. Between option B and option C, can you call a steady seeker of personal goals and pessimist? So, uh, if you have to look at nothing else, don't look at meaning and anything, you can straight away say that this will not be answer because there is nothing such as an pessimist. It could be, had it been a slash and, there could have been any confusion, but there cannot be an and before pessimist. So look at the option C. Can you call a relentless seeker of personal goals an aimless person? I doubt whether you can. So a relentless seeker of personal goal is someone who is continuously working towards personal goal, and he cannot be an aimless person because he always works towards uh, his goals. So option C is the answer for this question. So here are the instructions for next few questions. A related pair of words or phrases is followed by four-lettered pair of words or phrases. Select the lettered pair that best expresses a relationship dissimilar, note the word dissimilar, to that expressed in the original pair. So here is the 12th question. So those of you who do not know the meaning of mendicant, a mendicant means a beggar. See, in this question, if you look at the first, the given question, migrant settled. Here, migrant does not mean uh, like migrants from poor areas who come to looking for work. It means a person who is not not fixed at the place. He is moving around. He continuously shifts his home from place to place. So that is what a migrant is. And settle means someone who has been living at a place for many years, many generations, and and has not moved his home away. So in effect, migrant and settled are direct opposite or antonyms of each other. So in the given four options, you have to find which pairs are antonyms of each other. Sorry, in the four options, you have space and you have to find which is dissimilar to the given question. So if the given question is the antonym, so in the given pair you have to find what is the synonym, synonym pair. So yes, it is gallant and brave. They are the synonym pair in the given question. Question 13. Porcine bear, leucine lion, vulpine fox, porcine pig, and lupine pig. Oh, sorry, lupine wolf. So mendicant, Bishwanath, mendicant meant beggar. So a person who is so poor that he is forced into beggary. So Orisign basically means beer like. So uh, beer like is related to beer. So in the question, in the given options, we have to find a word that is not related to the animal in the second part. So if you look at option B, vulpine means fox-like, which is related to fox. Porcine would mean pig-like, which will be related to pig. Lupine will be related to the wolf-like, which is related to wolf. In the option A, lucine is not does not mean lion-like. It Lucine basically is a uh, white crystalline amino acid. So something related to chemistry with no relation to lion. So option A will be the answer here. In this question, porcine does mean pig-like. So porcine option C is in accordance with what is given in the question. So it cannot be the answer. So if you look at it, the uh, in the given pair, the first part the first part is a French word, always a French word, and the second is the English meaning of it. Uh, buvette in French means a bar, and the tavern is also a place where people go to drink. So it is essentially also a bar. So the relation between two words are they are synonyms of each other. So between the four options, you have to find the option which is not the set, which is not in which the words are not synonyms of each other. So uh, Butte is a isolated hill, uh, which uh, which is related to hill, and SM plastic would be something which has a unifying effect. So again, related to unifying. Foily is in French, in Old French means madness, and hymen is a Greek god of marriage. So it is not related to song. So the answer would be hymen song. Option D. See, one thing that this kind of question is a very random kind of question. I would say you are not expected to learn Old French to crack these types of questions. My suggestion is that uh, since nmat does not have a negative marking scheme, when you encounter these kind of questions, just leave it beforehand. Do not waste any time over these kind of questions. There are several very easy questions in nmat. Go for them, answer them correctly, and uh, when you get time in the end, just remark the answer what you feel like is correct. If remember, these are type of questions that if you don't know that then most probably most other people would also not be knowing. Nobody is so fluent in Old French in India. So don't worry if something comes very difficult that seems out of the blue, as this previous question was. Leave it, and if there is and ask for other exams also. Leave it if you get those kinds of questions, and if it does not have a negative marking, just mark what you feel is right, or if you don't know what is right, mark any random option. So this is the final question for today. So astrolatry basically means worship of celestial bodies. So between given options, you have to say with the first part would be the worship of the second word. First word would mean worship of the second word. So in this four options, find out which does not fit this pattern. So yes, zoolatry means worship of animals. Demonolatry means worship of demons or devils. Idolatry means worship of idols. There is nothing such as Mariolatry, which would mean worship of Virgin Mary. So B would be the answer for this question. I'm sorry, this is marked incorrectly A. It is actually B. Zoolatry is there exists a word called zoolatry, which means worship of animals. So answer is B. 15th answer is B. With this ends today's class. It was a good class, and I hope to see you next week. Mariolatry does not mean anything. Such a word does not exist. Uh, Vishwanath, today's class was 1.5 hours long, approximately. Uh, Arun sir will be uploading the video for it. You can see it. 15 questions plus one RC that had 10 questions. So he will be uploading the video for this. You can catch up with it there.